afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bariatrics and Tips. Hopefully everyone's tuning in. It is just 2 o'clock, so we'll get started here in a few minutes. If you're logged in and you are seeing this, please feel free to say hi in the message thread because I would love to hear from you. I will start in just a few minutes. Just going to make sure everything's all set up for us. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for coming. All right. My clock says 2 o'clock, so we're gonna keep on moseying and get her going here, okay? Once again, welcome to Bariatrics and Tips. I'm Michelle Geeson. I am your host for today. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to this broadcast all week. I love menu planning for it, and I love sharing my recipes with you, and I'm so glad that you're here. So thank you so much. Hi, Marcia. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. This the RSVPs for this particular event were quite a few, so hopefully everyone who RSVP'd is still able to make it here today. I know here in West Michigan it's a cold, drizzly, yucky, no-purpose day, so great day to be in front of your device, I suppose. But anyways, we'll keep going here. One thing that we all have in common is that we've had weight loss surgery or we're gearing up for it. So I think that's our common ground, and there's just so much that we can branch off from that common ground. But you know, just because we're given this tool doesn't mean we have to feel deprived of eating well. Food is just a huge part and just the absolute center of our universe, and whether we like it or not, we need to figure out how to deal with it because it's not going away. We need food to eat, we need it to live, and we have to learn to coexist with it. It's just that simple. I mean, end of story. So if you can't beat them, join them. So the goal for this and the whole focus of our group page is so that you know that it's okay to remove the word deprived from your vocabulary, blah, because there's no reason you should ever have to feel deprived of everything. There are ways that we can get around things with the knowledge that we have of good health and nutrition. Life after bariatric surgery shouldn't be spent wishing that we could have this or wishing that we could have that. We can have fun with food, and that's the whole basis of this live broadcast and our group page. This is our second chance to live life to the fullest, to live large, to cook small, to find flavor in everything that we do, and that's metaphorically and literally. I've dedicated myself and our group page to sharing ways that I know how to live large and cook small and find flavor in all we do, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. And it's worth the effort, and it's worth it because I'm worth it. I know that I'm worth it, and you're worth it too. So that's the scoop. That's all you have to know. Everything else is child's play. If you're willing to make the commitment to your weight loss surgery journey, then you should have no problem going the distance and finding new ways to approach food and good health and good nutrition. And today we're going to deal with the air fryer. It is an amazing part of my kitchen arsenal, and I was really on the fence for a long time about whether or not I should buy another small appliance. I have the George Foreman grill. I have a NutriBullet blender, even though it's hiding somewhere and we've been looking for weeks for it and I can't find it, but I have one. We've got a toaster oven. I've got the chaffle maker. We've got a lot of small appliances here, but seriously, the air fryer is something all members of my family have, or they love. And I'm going to show for you 2 things today that we make in the air fryer that are absolutely marvelous, and hopefully you'll love them as much as me. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on the spotlight first. For those of you who are new to this format, the Sunday Spotlight is just a way for me to seek out one of our members and give you some kudos, because I know that we focus a lot on recipes and hacks and tricks and tips, and that's the focus of our page and that's the mission, but we still need to celebrate the successes as well. And so today's Sunday Spotlight belongs to Renee Wattenberg. Renee is actually a very old dear friend. We went to middle school together and we went to Hebrew school together, and you know, life happens and people move away and people grow apart, and that's what happened with Renee and I. But due to the power of Facebook and social media, we reacquainted many years back and we were able to keep in touch. And Renee's had quite an interesting journey, and hopefully by the time I tell you all of this about Renee, you'll be able to give her some good kudos too, because she's definitely come a long way, and wait till you see her before and after pictures too. So I think, and Renee, if I'm wrong, I read your bio a couple times, and it sounds to me like you started your weight loss journey in 2007 with a lap band, and it sounds like the lap band lasted about 5 years, and she started getting really sick and having some side effects from it, and so it had to be removed. And she said the next few years were pretty miserable, and that's when she decided to have gastric sleeve surgery. It didn't work for her for a lot of reasons. At the beginning, she was in the perfect frame of mind, but then her mother passed away, and that kind of just spiraled things out of control, as I'm sure you can imagine if you've lost a loved one. So she lost about 50 pounds in total, but the next 2 years were just a constant struggle for her, and she admits that she gained all the weight back. And so she had gastric bypass revision surgery just this past December. And so that kind of gave her a new lease on life, and she's done amazing. She's lost 45 pounds since mid-December. She says the other day, when she sent me this bio, that she looked down for the first time and she could see her toes without moving forward. And that's a huge non-scale victory, and I know exactly where she's coming from, and that's amazing. So congratulations to Renee Wattenberg for never giving up and to finding something that's working for her, and hopefully over the course of the next little while we'll be able to share in her successes too. But I'll show you her first picture. This is July of 2020, and hopefully you can see it. July of 2020. Okay, so hold on. Now this is this month, and I know it's not full length, but you can definitely see the difference in Renee Wattenberg. So congratulations, Renee. You have done amazing work. Keep up the great work. You know, sometimes you have obstacles in your path, and it's just one of those learning experiences that you have to take in order to get from point A to point B, or from point B to point D. But it sounds to me like you're on the right track, and hopefully our group is keeping you motivated and accountable. Sandy says congratulations too. So thank you for sharing your story. For those of you who aren't familiar, again, with Sunday Spotlight, now is your time to send me a bio and some pictures so I can feature you on next week's Sunday Spotlight. And if you do, you actually get a free gift. I will show you. I had some bariatrics and tips magnets, logo magnets made, that I will send to you if you're featured on a Sunday Spotlight. And that is my gift to you. There's no charge for that. You just have to furnish me with your home address. Cindy Rhodes was the topic of last week's Sunday Spotlight, and she just messaged me the other day that she got her magnet in the mail. So Cindy, if you are watching, I can see. Let everybody know how much you like your magnet. Renee, your magnet was mailed yesterday, so you should be getting that soon. All right, so that's our Sunday Spotlight. I would like to have next week's Spotlight sent to me by Thursday or Friday. We are actually, and I'll discuss it briefly right now because it's on topic, and then I'll reiterate it again at the end of the broadcast. But this coming week's Sunday Spotlight will actually be moved to Saturday. We are doing next Sunday's cooking recipe demonstration the day before on Saturday. That way everybody can observe Easter with their family and friends. And for those who are celebrating this week, happy Passover. We celebrate Passover and Easter here at our house, so we get the best of both worlds this week and next week. So Next week's Sunday recipe demonstration will be on Saturday. That event is on our Facebook page, so make sure you go to it. Next week is going to be Decadent Dessert Debauchery, and I've got an amazing menu for you. I'm like trying so hard to figure out what I want to showcase because there are so many favorites, but I think I've got it narrowed down to 4. So you're either going to get 2, 3, or 4 recipes next Saturday for Decadent Dessert Debauchery. All right. So we will shift gears and we will go back to air fryer appetizers. Today we're going to make 2 appetizers for you, and you might be able to see that already. I have everything laid out on the counter. We are going to do Michelle's magnificent mozzarella sticks. It is my own created recipe. You are going to flip when you see these mozzarella sticks. It's amazing. We're also going to do cauliflower wings. Now, I was at the store both last week and this morning, and I wandered into the frozen food section, and they have a ton of bagged frozen cauliflower wings. And I was so happy to see that because I wanted to look at the nutrition facts, I wanted to look at serving size, I wanted to look at their ingredients, I wanted to see what they were doing right and what they weren't doing right, or what I could do better for the bariatric type lifestyle. And really what it amounts to is sodium and like fried filler foods like flour. And I am happy to report to you that both of these appetizers today that you're going to see have 0 white flour, 0 oil, and 0 breading, no breadcrumbs of any kind. So very proud of that. And you will get these recipes. I've got 3 recipes to share for you today. I've got the mozzarella stick recipe, I've got the cauliflower wings recipe, and then I've got a bonus recipe that you're going to get, and I'll tell you a little bit later. And so 3 recipes, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock on our group Facebook page. If for those people who aren't joining us right now, this video will be replayed as soon as we're done with it, and then it'll also be on my YouTube channel. So we're going to start with the mozzarella sticks because I have them I have the mozzarella sticks assembled, and then I have the cauliflower already done, but I want to tell you about the mozzarella sticks first, and then I'm going to pop them into the air fryer and let them do their thing while we're talking about the cauliflower, and that should minimize our time because, you know, the object of this recipe demonstration, it's not a cooking demonstration. I'm taking for granted that you guys know how to cook and that you can find your way through a kitchen. And if you need help further, you can certainly send me a message, or you can put something for everybody to address. But these are just demonstrating my recipes, and so I wanted to take a lot of the legwork out for us. And so we're going to start with the mozzarella sticks. I've got mozzarella sticks, and then I've got the cauliflower. The first thing that we're going to do about the mozzarella sticks, you want to create what's called a breading station. Even though we're not breading it, you want to make sure that you have 3 separate trays or bowls. You don't want them to be too deep, but you don't want them to be too shallow either. I like to have, and I can show you what I use. I actually like something a little deeper than these prep trays. These are Pampered Chef. I know every week I say that I love Pampered Chef, and every week it holds true because I have something or another. But you want to have 3 areas to put your things. And on the recipe that you're going to see at 3 o'clock, I refer to bowl 1, bowl 2, and bowl 3. And so that's what we're going to do there. So you're going to have your 3 bowls, and what we're going to do is we are going to take, in bowl 1, we are going to set up our casein protein powder and just a dash of salt. That's going to be bowl 1. Bowl 2, we're going to beat up to a pulp 3 large eggs. And then bowl 3, we're going to do what is considered our dry mixture. And the dry mixture is a combination of a 1/4 cup grated Parmesan cheese, a tablespoon each of 4 things: almond flour, coconut flour, hemp hearts, and milled flaxseed. That way you get a variety of different proteins and different tastes, and you don't have a lot of calorie content because we're only using 1 tablespoon at a time. And then in addition to that part of the dry mixture, we are going to add a teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. And then that's gonna be in our bowl 3. So now we have 3 bowls. And what you wanna do is you can either opt to buy mozzarella sticks that are already cheese sticks, or you can go to the deli counter like I did yesterday, and you can buy a block of mozzarella cheese. I think that girl thought that I was absolutely crazy when I told her that I wanted a block of mozzarella. So I had her give me a block of mozzarella, and then I was able to cut them into some sticks. And I weighed them on my scale, and they were ranging about 1.25 ounces per stick. And so that way you could compute that into your MyFitnessPal or however you calculate your nutrition facts. But at any rate, so here's a good thing about the mozzarella, something that I found out yesterday that was really good information. The first batch of mozzarella sticks that I made over the course of this past week, they turned out great. Don't get me wrong, they were delicious, but they weren't as melty as what you get at like Applebee's or your favorite restaurant. So I was trying to figure out why. I'm like, I hope I didn't buy bad cheese or something. But the problem is that it was part skim mozzarella. The block that I just showed you from the refrigerator is whole milk mozzarella. And the beauty of this is there's only about a 10 calorie and a 2 gram per fat difference per serving between the part skim and the whole milk mozzarella cheese. So my philosophy is go big or go home. So I chose the whole milk mozzarella. I'm not gonna get myself all flipped out over 10 calories and 2 grams of fat. Not when it's okay. I mean, I'm compensating in other ways. So I'm using the whole mozzarella, and what I found yesterday and the day before when I test piloted this recipe is that it's amazing. It's amazing, it melts, it has stretch to it. I was totally stoked. So the cheese that you see here is going to be the whole mozzarella stick. Now, the whole milk mozzarella. But the key to it is that you want to cut your sticks and place them in a baggie or a Tupperware and throw them in the freezer for about an hour. You want them to be sort of frozen. And the reason you want to do this, it's going to help prevent the cheese from exploding outside of our breading, okay? Even though there's no breading. So, that is a really good best practice. That's something that I just read about over the last 2 weeks when I was preparing for today's demonstration. And I'll be darned, it totally works. So when I know that I'm making mozzarella sticks, the first thing that I do is I cut my sticks, throw them in the freezer, and then I wait and I get everything done and I prep everything else, and then I bring those out, okay? So that's the whole scoop on our mozzarella. So we're gonna have our breading station, and we're gonna have bowl 1, bowl 2, and bowl 3. And what we're gonna do to ensure that you get an amazing breaded experience without the breading, because we're not using breading, you wanna make sure that you go for a repeat. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're going to dip the frozen mozzarella sticks in the beaten eggs, and then you're gonna kind of shake them through the casein protein powder that is laced with salt. And then once you do that and coat them nicely, that kind of serves as the flour. And they're going to, then you're gonna put them back in the egg and soak them in the egg, and then you're gonna put them in the dry mixture. And when they're done with the dry mixture and they're coated, you're gonna put them back in the egg for a second time around. Technically it's the third time, but it's the second breading, even though there's no breading. And then once you're done with that, you're going to dredge them in the dry mixture one final time. So when you do that, they should look like this. Look how gorgeous that is. You can see if I can get it really close. But these are whole milk mozzarella sticks. They are 1.25 ounce sticks dredged in the casein protein powder, and then the dry mixture that is going to be bowl 3, and you'll totally get what I'm saying when you see the recipe posted at 3 o'clock today. So you want to make sure that you put them in your air fryer, and air fryers definitely look different. This is my air fryer. It has a basket that comes out, and you can see right through it. And then the tray, and my best practice is to put a piece of tin foil on the bottom of the tray. It is nonstick and it's super easy to clean, but this just makes it easier because I get to remove it and push it away. But the thing that I want to make sure we do is I want to spray it. It helps, and it's going to help immensely for the cauliflower. But I'm going to put the mozzarella sticks, I'm going to spray the bottom, and then I'm going to spray this as well. And then the thing with air fryers, whether you're an air fryer guru or a novice, the goal is to not have things touch. You want to make sure that they are adequately spaced apart because the air needs to be able to circulate and go through and cook everything evenly. So that is what we're going to do there. So I am going to put these into the air fryer 350 for about 7 minutes. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully the air fryer isn't too loud. You'll probably hear a humming sound, but it shouldn't be too bad. And then we'll talk about the cauliflower while this is cooking. All right, there. Okay, I got it set for 7 minutes, but I'm going to check it at 6. So if you can hear me okay, can you guys hear me okay? Can you just say yes real quick or no if you can hear me? Come on, someone tell me. Anyway, so now we're going to move over to the cauliflower. First of all, I'm going to show it to you because it's amazing. So there's our cauliflower. These are cauliflower wings. They are made with a, thank you for Marsha, thanks Melissa. All right, cool, you guys can still hear me. So protein cauliflower buffalo wings. The recipe and the premise is still pretty similar, but we're actually going to use a wet batter, and I've got it already made up for you. I'll go through the ingredients, but I want to show you. I mean, it's runny, but it's thick. And this, again, has no breading, and it has nothing, no white flour or anything in it. So hopefully you can see it all right. The first thing that I did the other day when I was making this is I used frozen cauliflower florets just because I was in the frozen section looking, and they were cheap. They were like $1.50 a bag. So, but I decided that I don't like to use the frozen cauliflower. It still worked, don't get me wrong, but it just felt like it was a little mushy, and maybe the cauliflower was too moist or saturated with, with water. So today I bought cauliflower, ready-made fresh cauliflower florets, and you can buy a regular head of cauliflower. I was just looking at, like, I'm trying to cook small, and I'm trying to only buy what I need for a week, and I just couldn't see myself using that entire head of cauliflower without it going bad. So I bought the small bag, and it should work just fine. They're florets of all sizes, so it should give us a good range. So what we're going to do is, in this mixture, we're going to have instead of having 3 bowls like we did with the mozzarella sticks, we're going to have a bowl, and then we're going to have a shaker bottle. And I can show you my shaker bottle. Most shaker bottles have like a metal ball that goes in, and then you kind of shake it. And that's really good for like protein powders and things of that nature. So I've got a scoop. I'm going to just go through the ingredients. In the bowl, you're going to put a scoop of the Naked Casein protein powder. You're going to put a tablespoon each of the hemp hearts, the milk flaxseed, almond flour, and coconut flour. I call that the Fab Four because that is like the secret to these appetizers. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, a teaspoon each of onion powder and smoked paprika, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then that's going to go in the bowl. Then in the shaker bottle, we're going to put a 1/2 cup of milk and a 1/2 cup of water. Now the milk, I have been using Fairlife whole milk. And I have been using that for cooking, and I've been using it in place of coffee creamer because it's a little bit thicker and because of the protein content. And so I find that that works for me, but you can use whatever you want. So you're gonna add a half a cup each of milk and water, and then you're gonna add 4 scoops of either 2 scoops or 4 scoops of whey protein isolate. The 4 scoops is if you're using Gene Pro, and I use the Gene Pro. Gene Pro, the scoops are much less concentrated, so if you're using regular non-flavored whey protein isolate, just use 2 scoops, but if you're using Gene Pro, use 4. And then you want to make sure that you shake it up in here until everything is completely dissolved. And when everything in the shaker bottle is completely dissolved, you are going to go ahead and you're going to combine it in your bowl. And I did use a hand mixer. You can use an immersion blender, or you can just use your spatula and get everything mixed up. And then, and I did let it sit for a little bit. Now, if you want a thicker batter, my suggestion to you would be to add a teaspoon of psyllium husk. Psyllium husk is something that I've been using in batters and puddings, in any kind of something or other that where you want it to be a little bit thicker. Psyllium husk is just pure fiber, and I use it in place of cornstarch a lot, but it gives you bulk. So you want to use either, if you're not used to using it, maybe even start like a half a teaspoon at a time or a teaspoon at a time, and see until you get, like the consistency that you want. So once you have your wet mixture here, everything's combined, all you're going to do is dredge your cauliflower in it. I'll take I'm not going to actually cook this while we're here today, but I wanted to at least show you. So you're going to mix it, and then I have learned from experience over the last couple days, very, very important to make sure that your air fryer basket is adequately sprayed, because it was getting to the point where like the batter at the bottom was sticking to the tray, which is fine. I mean, you can clean it up, but you want to eat it, not waste it. So, but when you're done and it's all said and done, you want to make sure that you're getting the excess batter off, and then you're going to put it in your air basket fryer, and then make sure that they're spaced apart and they're not next to each other. And once that happens, you'll be able to cook them as well. You're going to cook them at 350 for about 15 minutes, but I would strongly recommend that you check it every couple, maybe every 5 minutes. Sorry, it's really good batter. And then you can, especially like the first time that you're doing it, you definitely want to see. The last thing that I made to go with our feast, and actually when you're done with the cauliflower and it comes out of the air fryer, you want to make sure you have your hot sauce or your barbecue sauce already warm, and you can put it in a bowl and toss it, and then it'll turn out like that. It looks phenomenal and it tastes phenomenal. Even my son, he said when we're done with the broadcast, he wants to eat some of it. So, and look, my air fryer is about to turn off. So let's go over to our mozzarella sticks. I will put these, oh my, some of them kind of seeped a little bit, but not too much. Look at how gorgeous those are. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the whole melty effect, because this is why I only had a salad for lunch, because I was waiting. I've got my marinara sauce. It's actually pizza sauce. And here comes the dog too. The dog has really good taste. So I'm going to dip it. Look at that. Molten cheese. It is a good mozzarella stick. It's not a good mozzarella stick. It's an amazing mozzarella stick. But here's the bonus. I made ranch dip too. And you'll get this recipe too. This is the bonus recipe. All I did was take 2 teaspoons of dry ranch dip, like Hidden Valley. I think I used the off-brand. and mixed it with a half a cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. And this stuff is thebomb.com. Look at that. See, this is my vice right here. Give me cheese all day long and I will die a happy woman. All right. So you can do a lot in the air fryer. You can do a lot with Greek yogurt, with marinara sauce. Look at these amazing dishes. I feel very, very happy about this food because I don't feel deprived in the slightest. This is stuff you could serve for the Super Bowl. This is stuff that you could serve to your family as an appetizer, or you could make a meal out of it with a salad on the side. And there's no way that I'm going to end this day feeling deprived, not with this stuff in front of me. So I hope that you learned a lot today. It was these recipes, you know, I've been trying to take the things that I love and remake them, and I've come a long way in, you know, in how I've done it, and I'm really proud of the recipe, and I can't wait to share it with you. And here, hold on, we've got a special guest star. The dog is begging for cheese. This is Lego. This is the dog that you hear from time to time. You want some, don't you? You do? Can you wait until we're done? Lego is a multi-poo, and he loves food, and he will always be my guinea pig. Whenever I want him to try something, he's right there. Right? Kiss. Thank you. All right. Now he's on the floor going like this. So at any rate, that is our demonstration for today. There are still a few things that I want to discuss. Up next week on April 3rd, that's a Saturday, so a week from yesterday, we are going to do Decadent Dessert Debauchery, just like I said earlier. We're doing it on Saturday in observance of Easter on Sunday. And then on April 11th, 8 days later, on our regular day at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we are going to do a segment on burgers and fries, which should be great. And then on April 18th, again, our regular Sunday, we are going to do Veggie Patch Hacks and Veggie Tales. And we're going to mold everything around vegetables, and it's going to be lovely, and we're going to all have so much fun. Don't forget that we have social media presence on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. And don't forget our group Facebook page. Don't forget that you can share our page with anyone you want. Even those of you who have people and friends and family that may not have had weight loss surgery, but you want them to be able to help support you, certainly feel free to extend them an invitation to our group page. The more the merrier. We want to keep things dignified and respectful. We want to make sure that everybody has their voice, and we want to make sure that our community is a safe haven for people to go to bounce off ideas. You are seeing posts throughout the day that I have created and made myself based on things that I've read or advice that I've been given. And so even though a lot of this is just my opinion and my perception, my hope is that if you have any questions, that you either bring them to my attention or you just go straight to your surgeon or your dietitian to ask if you're reading something that you're not sure of. But there are definite things that I feel like I can lend to the team, and I hope that you're enjoying those posts. Our interactive games, our tips and tricks, our kitchen hacks, all of those are designed to help you make your life easier and more fun, because the kitchen is an amazing playground. And if this is an amazing playground, the grocery store should also be an amazing playground for you too. It's where I find inspiration, and it's where I get ideas, and where if I see something that is ridiculously decadent, I think of ways where I can make it better. And so that is that is what I'm going to be doing. Thank you so much for joining. If you saw my post earlier, no trip to the store is complete without an impulse buy. And today, here's my impulse buy. And it is happy, healthy, and strong. And that is my wish for everybody. I hope that you are happy, healthy, and strong, and continue to get stronger. And thanks for giving me a few minutes on your Sunday. Go create in the kitchen and have a great rest of the day with your family, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.